At work, do you often overpromise and underdeliver? You promise too many things, but you never deliver, you never get the job done. Well, today we're going to talk about how to underpromise and overdeliver. Yeah, the opposite. We're going to switch it, and I'm going to teach you how in this video. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Mitch, and this is my YouTube channel, Mitch's 미친 영어 coaching. I'm here to help you when you're speaking English in business or in your social life, whatever it is, how to speak with more confidence and how to deliver better results at work, whether you're in an international company or in any company, really, whatever you're doing in life, this can help you. So today, what I'm going to talk about is this 3-step commitment framework for managing expectations. Managing expectations means everybody has expectations. They want something from you. They want this work to be done. They want it to be done today. They want it done now, right? In last week's video, we talked about a similar topic. What do you do when the boss is asking for something and this person's asking for something, the client's asking for something? You have to manage expectations. In other words, you can't just promise everything. Non-native professionals, they often say, oh yes, I'll finish this tonight. Yes, I'll do it. Yes, I'll get it done today. Because they don't want to sound like they're lazy or they're not working hard. So you overpromise. That's what I was talking about, overpromising. That means you're saying, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it today. I'll do it right now. I'll get it done. Okay. But then often what happens is when you promise tonight, and then you can't finish by tonight, so you actually deliver it tomorrow morning, well, you've broken your promise is what's happened. You promised one thing, but you broke your promise. You couldn't do it, okay? So in global business, missed commitments damage trust far more than negotiating a realistic timeline up front. What that means is if you promise everything, but then you fail to deliver what you promised, you're gonna break the trust. Your boss or the client, they don't trust you anymore because you promise one thing, but you don't deliver, okay? And that's very damaging for your professional life. Much more damaging than if you would just upfront negotiate a realistic timeline. In other words, like, okay, I can do this, but I need this much time. And just tell them honestly how much time you need rather than just promising on their timeline. Okay, does that make sense? Because everybody's going to give you their timeline and it's always going to be as soon as possible, right? But you don't want to just promise that you can do that because that, like I said, it breaks the trust. Then they won't believe you when you don't deliver, okay? And you also don't want to stay at work all night trying to finish something. You want to have reasonable boundaries. That's what we talked about in the last video, okay? So there's a strategy that I want to teach you, okay? High-performing professionals always use this strategy. Under-promise, over-deliver. UPOD. Under-promise, over-deliver. Okay, this strategy will always help manage the expectations, right? It will make people trust you more, okay? And what I mean by it is this. This is how it works, okay? There's 3 steps here. So this framework, the under-promise, over-deliver framework. First of all, step 1, you need to buy realistic buffer time. Realistic buffer time means a little time to get it done. Okay, never give your absolute best case scenario as your official deadline. Don't say, okay, yeah, I can get this done by tonight, unless you can get it done earlier than tonight. Okay, so what we often do is we say like, oh yeah, I'll do this as fast as I can today. Okay, that's okay, but what you're promising is that you'll get it done by today, but maybe you can't, right? You don't know exactly. So rather than promising that the absolute earliest time, push it back a little bit. Say it like this: to make sure this is accurate, I want to take a close look. I'll have it to you by tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, I want to take a closer look at this, so I'll have it to you by tomorrow afternoon. So instead of saying today, and if they ask you for today, you don't have to agree to that. You can say, I really want to do a good job with this. I want to make it as good as possible, so I'll have it to you by tomorrow afternoon. So I'm still promising. I'm making a promise, but it's a more realistic promise, right? It gives me some more time. And this way I can make sure that I get it done by the time that I promised. But if you say today, well, probably you're not going to be able to get it done today. Okay. Now, obviously, it depends on how big this project is. But I'm just saying you want to under-promise. So don't give the absolute closest timeline. Push it back a little bit so you can buy yourself a little buffer time. We call that buffer time. Okay, and then the second step is signal professional ownership. Okay, what that means is you're going to frame the extra time not as you being busy. Don't say, oh, I'm so busy, but instead make it sound like you care about high quality output. Okay, so in other words, don't say like, oh, I'm too busy to finish this today. I'll get it to you by tomorrow. Okay, that doesn't sound very professional. Okay, better way is, you know what, I want to run a quick test on these figures first to ensure accuracy. So I'll have the final draft to you by Friday morning. Okay, or like I said before, to make sure this is accurate, I want to take a closer look. So I'll have it to you by tomorrow afternoon. Okay, so in other words, you're not going to say I'm too busy or oh, I have so many things to do, I can't get to it today. Don't say it like that. That's too negative. In a positive way, you say like, oh, I really want to make sure this is accurate. I want to really double check it. I'm going to check this, double check it. So give me until tomorrow or give me until Friday morning. Okay, that way you sound much more professional and it sounds like you're going to do a good job. But if you just say like, oh, I'm too busy all the time, well, then people are going to start to think, you know, what are you busy doing? Why are you so busy all the time? You don't know how to manage your time? So it sounds much more professional if you say it in a positive way. Okay, so professional ownership is what that's called. Okay, and then step 3, deliver early. This is very important. Okay, you promised by a certain time, not the earliest time. You pushed it back. You give yourself a little more buffer time, but you must deliver early. Okay, don't wait until the last minute. Get it done earlier than what you said, what you promised. Okay, this is the under promise, over deliver. Okay, submit the file on Thursday afternoon since you committed to Friday morning. You said Friday morning, get it to them by Thursday afternoon if you can. Okay, then you've officially over delivered. You've really built your professional credibility. They trust you more. If you do that on a regular basis, you regularly promise by a certain time and you deliver earlier than that time, over time, people are going to say, like, she's really, really fast, really good worker. She always gets it done earlier than she promised. Okay, and you made that happen. You designed that. Okay, it's a strategy. It's a strategy that you can use. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Under promise, over perform. You under promise, you don't promise too early. You promise at a reasonable time, and then you work hard and you get it done faster than that. And then people will always trust you and they will always look at you as a very professional person, very good worker. Okay, let me give you some key phrases to use for this. Okay, here's some phrases you can use just as kind of a template. Okay, first one, I'll have a draft ready for your review by Wednesday morning. Okay, your boss asks you to give some report or some analysis. You say, okay, I'll have a draft ready for you for review by Wednesday morning. Okay, or whatever morning. It depends on the day, depends on how much time you need. You can decide, but again, don't choose the earliest time. Push it back a little bit, not super late, but just give yourself a little buffer time. And then, of course, early. Turn it in early to your boss. Or another one here, to ensure we don't overlook any details, let's target Friday for the final sign-off. All right, again, you set up the buffer time to make yourself look professional, to ensure we don't overlook any details. I don't want to make any mistakes. So I'm going to double check this, triple check it, and let's target Friday for the final sign-off. Final sign-off. That means it'll be finished by Friday. Let's target Friday. That's a good way to say that. Another one, I'm currently finalizing this other thing, whatever the project is. I'm currently finalizing this. I'll touch base with an update by tomorrow midday. Oh, what does that mean? Okay, touch base means I'm going to update you tomorrow by midday. I'm just going to tell you tomorrow if it's possible or not. Okay, so in other words, you're not promising now. Sometimes you're really busy. You have a lot to work on, right? But you don't want to say that. So you can just say it like this. I'm currently finalizing this project here. So I'll touch base with you with an update by tomorrow midday or tomorrow morning, okay? Or by the end of today, okay? In that case, you're not promising to finish the work by that time. You're promising to update them with a promise of can I finish or not by when. Okay, so you're gonna just kind of delay the overall discussion about that new project until you're ready, until you have time. Okay, and that's a very wise thing to do. Rather than just saying you're busy working, you say, all right, yeah, I'll do it. I'll get it to you by tomorrow. And then you can't, right? So better to just wait until you finish this one, and then you know how much time you have to do the next project. So you're managing your time, you're managing your schedule, you're managing your projects, and you're also managing expectations of the other people. Okay? So if you follow those 3 steps and you use some of those phrases I gave you, I think it will help you when you're dealing with people coming at you, asking for many things, and it will help you, again, under promising, over-performing, will help you look much more professional, much more trustworthy. Everybody will trust you and believe you, and you will get much more credibility at work if you do that. And not just work in real life too. This is useful in all of your life scenarios, not just at work. Okay? There it is, everybody. Have a good time practicing that with your coworkers, with your wife, husband, children, whatever. Okay? And I'll see you in the next video.